Travis,
Yo, dude, I
dude.
watched that intro. I feel like I've lost weight since we first started this.
Oh, you have. You look good, dude.
Like I was looking pretty chunky in those first couple episodes.
Bro, I've been fluctuating between 208 pounds and 216. I can't fucking, but I started to work out. I started to utilize the home gym. So it's been just so guys, everybody know this is RJ Godino. Yeah. He's my business partner with Bigfoot and Yeti Construction. We had him on. We want to talk about a little bit, and actually, he works with Capital City Electric. We wanted to touch on something today about safety. I just see Grant. Grant came up now. He's in the queue.
Nice.
Hopefully, we can get him to pop in. But we just want to talk about like workplace safety. So we got a contract with the city of Dumas. We're now the electrical contractor for the city of Dumas, right? Wake up this morning. We've already done some work for him. I shared a reel where we're way up in the air, and RJ was like, he told me he wasn't afraid of heights, but I didn't believe him. And so we go up. We're about 90 feet in the air, right? We're taking apart all of this stuff, real just run of the mill stuff. We changed some ballasts. We changed changed ballast, some fucking capacitors, took everything apart, put it back together, found out it was a wiring harness issue. The city of Dumas was really impressed with us. Shout out to Roman Carbajal. He's one of the old admins for Contractor Connection Amarillo. He worked for the city of Cactus. Now he works for the city of Dumas in their in the wastewater plant. So he got us a contract. We go out there today. We go to one of the well pumps. Well pump wasn't turning on. So we bypassed, kind of complicated. It's a 480 system, which means it's a big boy shit, right? Say it's 400 amp, 480 system. I'm trying to figure out because they just opened it up. There's no schematic. So I've got to kind of trace wiring. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh shit, this doesn't make sense. We reset all the relays and it's an overload. So the overload coming in is like this wired system. So I was like, well, I got to figure it out. So we start tracking everything. We try some stuff. Doesn't compute on Iris and the kids just got here. They went grocery shopping. So it doesn't quite compute. I start figuring everything out. I'm like, oh, all right, I got it. It's this contactor. There was a little relay that was actually a CT that kind of regulates like what the voltage coming in that goes to this other system. So I bypass it. It turns on. We're able to take our amp reading, which is what we wanted to know. We wanted to know like if it was pulling too much amps or if it was pulling too much like amperage, it means that the motor's bad. Everything ran fine. Cool. They start telling me this is super complicated. An engineer got in here. He overcomplicated it, charged a lot of money. We're like, all right, cool. We roll up, turn everything off. We let him know we're going to have to order all the stuff. We start getting the parts list. We drive out in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking, dude, we had to drive through a pasture of cows. And like, I've got videos of it. It's like super cute. I love cows. I think they're cute as hell. One of them's like kind of being ornery, like jumping in the way and shit, like running out of the way. We go to this middle of this field. We open it up and all right, we're going to change this coil system. Take everything apart, pull the coil out, stick the new coil in, put it back in, turn it on, doesn't start. I'm like, what the fuck? So I jump in there and I was like, all right, I'm going to have to bump it. So the cabinet is like literally like 3 feet by 5 feet. And so I get in there and I'm like, I'm about to hit it with my face in. I was like, wait a minute. So I pull my face out, I touch it, and I'm not shitting you. I had my hoodie on, I had an FR shirt, my Carhartt FR shirt on, and a pair of glasses, safety glasses, and a fucking beanie. And I felt the heat. My hand is now sunburned. There's a couple of spots here, I don't know if you can see it, but that spot's new. This spot's new. I've got a sunburn on my hand because it burns hotter than the sun. 480 arc flash is fucking, it's life threatening. So I hit it, it explodes, not even joking. A 10-foot fireball comes out the top of it, 2 feet to the side. It hits me, but I fall over as I touch it. And man, construction safety is something like RJ was there. He saw like how wild it was. And yeah, it's pretty intense.
What's crazy is I was leaning up against a fence and I was about to go up to it and like watch to see what he was doing, and he just did it before, so
yeah. So I actually was really. It's actually
RJ there holding the wooden broomstick, or
no?
The broomstick is important in those kind of situations.
We had a 2x4.
Well,
it was a 2x4, but check this out. It was a 480 system, so it blew out C-phase, and they had brought in their own utility, like slack span that fed just that, and it busted out the shotgun fuse that goes up to the utility, like the lineman, and then it burned up C-phase's fuse because it was a 120 volt coil. So it only went up and over, and those two were like, it exploded, but the other one took all the brunt force, and it blew everything all the way back out to utility. So we had to call it in, and it was I mean, I felt fine, and I got up, and everybody was kind of like shook. They were like, all right, so what do we do next? I was like, I don't know. Do we need to go like check out like those wall packs? Don't we got to change out some lights? And they're like, yeah, okay. And so we go back to the water.
Keep rolling, dude. Hey, no blood, no foul.
But it shook everybody. Like you could tell, like everybody's kind of weird about it. I was like, no, like this, it blew up. Yeah, it sucks. It happens. Luckily, I kept myself at a safe distance. I was wearing the proper, safety equipment. And the only thing I didn't have my gloves on, but I was so far away from it because it was literally what they did is they took the 400 amp breaker that goes into a number 5 starter. So my electrical contractors out there, you'll know it's a number 5 starter, 480 volt coil. And what happened was, no shade to anybody out there, but they looked and they saw, oh, okay, it's 120 volt, but it was just a relay. So he saw 120 volt, and it was a Siemens starter, number 5 starter, but they fit exactly the same. So even though it was 120 volts, it still just slid right back in there. And when we bumped
how many lumens is that, Gabriel?
Dude, it burns hotter than the sun. It literally, like, if you're in front of, like, RJ was standing back there, and everybody else, they were like seeing lights because they had just stared at an explosion. But luckily, I was like so far out of the way because I was like just right there, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
I was just happy this dude didn't get hurt. It was crazy. Like I was freaking out. I was like,
that's wild.
Scary.
Yeah,
that
man.
is really wild. I don't think that you could work in construction with your hands for an extended period of time and not get some injuries off of it. Like I think I'm pretty sure I've showed you my butt finger before.
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, we met people who literally they're missing limbs.
Yeah. Gene has like these prosthetics that help him like hold things. Because he got caught on a 480 system because as he was pulling the ground through there, it hit all the phases as he was pulling it through and blew up in his face. He said he was like 28, and that happened like 20 years ago. And he's still like his lung, like he has one lung. Jeez Louise.
He said he basically died and came back to life.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That is wild. That's why, especially, even when we were bootstrapping, Scott was kind of down to mess around with some electrical, but I never wanted to touch any of it, dude. I don't want to do plugs. I didn't want to do switches. I didn't want to do any of that stuff. Which is kind of funny because as a kid, my brother and I we would unfold paper clips and jab them into outlets. Little, like.
Dude, when I was in high school, I was a crust punk. So I would, for like kids in school, I would stab myself through my lip and pierce my lip with safety pins
What?
And I would bet $5, and then that would pay for my lunch or my weekend activities.
Nut job.
I mean, but it was like freak show stuff. You know what I mean? Like because I have a navel cavity, I would be able to put like the end of a spoon in my navel cavity.
Bro. Is Grant still in the lobby or?
Yeah, he is. He is. I'm gonna bring him on.
Yeah, let's bring him on.
Guys, here he comes. The man, the legend.
The legend.
Hey, what's going on?
What's
going on,
what's going on, guys?
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you having me. I just got done. I was getting a massage, so I made it right in time.
Damn.
After a hard days, weeks, months, years work. I guess a quarter century. I've been doing this for a quarter century. Gutters.
Damn, dude. Man. That's good.
Pretty wild. What are we talking about tonight? Sounds like you guys are talking about some crazy safety stuff.
Well, yeah, Gabriel but apparently decided to light a mini sun, in honor.
Yeah, he got a tan. So. He got a sunburn.
Yeah, I got a sunburn. I smell burnt hair. Yeah, I was like, did he get my beard? Did he get my beard? Because I just trimmed this shit. You know what I mean? And but luckily it was just the hair on my hand. But I smelt it, and I definitely dealt it. Man, that was it was rough this morning.
I love it.
And then I got up and I was like, all right, well, this sucks. So we got to buy a new panel, like a pump station panel, the whole cabinet, like whatever we got to do, just get it here. I can change it out. I can do it today if you want to. And they're like, well, we're gonna get some quotes. And everybody's head went down. I was like, come on, guys, like, let's go to the next job. Like, what are we doing? We're gonna change some wall packs. Yeah. We went and changed the light at the park. Like, we got done with that. We left. Some dude was outside there talking to himself. It's kind of creepy. But he was like, get me in the bathroom.
Keep it.
But yeah, man, it was today was very super eventful.
I swear he was smoking the filter to the cigarette.
Oh my gosh.
He was smoking the whole filter, huh?
Seriously, it was crazy.
Grant, what's your worst injury?
Oh man, you know what? I've been blessed. I started doing gutters in 1996. I was 16 years old at the time, and I've actually, I have been hurt. I was thinking more fall related. I don't know. We probably can't see it, but I've got a scar from here to here. So it's about 3 inches long. And I was removing some galvanized steel gutter from like a 3-story building. And I was jerking on it, and I had some gloves on. I was like, okay, I'm going to have some gloves. I don't want to cut my hands. And I was jerking on this thing. I was trying to get it off. And when it came off, like it still had the whole entire downspout attached to it, which was a lot of weight. So essentially this collector head box fell into my chest, and it just sliced my arm all the way open to the bone. And I mean, live and learn on that one. I got down the ladder. I had to come all the way down this 3-story ladder. I was holding this piece. I didn't want to just throw it right. Had a guy below me, like kind of pulling the downspout. In hindsight, I should have removed the downspout first. But I got to the ground, and then, kind of went into shock once I looked at it, right? It was bleeding everywhere. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm a beast. This is going to be fine. And I immediately had to throw up, and I started spinning, and I got real panicky. Like, was I going to die?
Time to go to the ER, bro. Get that.
I don't know if I'm going to die. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to die. Help me out. I feel like I started panicking, and then I didn't know, started, seeing stars. And within, they poured some water on me or something. Then we poured some water on the cut. I actually didn't go to the doctor for it. We wrapped duct tape around it. Yeah, we wrapped duct tape around it, and I went straight back to work. And being in sheet metal, I've had some pretty nasty cuts. I've cut my thumb open in the same spot 4 or 5 times.
See, that's what I figured. I didn't know falling, but you work so much with metal and everything that you're going to get cut by that.
You're going to get cut. Yeah. What we found out fairly quickly at a young age, what I found out, and I'm in charge of a lot of people, and I don't say that I recommend this on record, but a cut is a cut. If it's not hitting an artery, let's get some super glue on that thing.
Yeah.
And just chill. I mean, you're going to go to the doctor to pay a bunch of money for stitches. Nowadays, mainly they just use super glue. And here's the deal with the cut. If you're not in front of the doctor, probably within 45 minutes to an hour, the stitches aren't going to do anything. They're actually just going to glue it closed. So Nowadays, we just super glue stuff closed. We hold it, and then it'll keep the skin actually super glued closed. So if anybody ever gets a cut, definitely add super glue to your first aid kit. It's from the dollar store. It works fabulous. And we talked to our doctors about it, and they're like, yeah, I mean, that's not probably the greatest idea because of infection, depending on the type of metal, blah, blah, blah. But that's what we
As
do.
long as you're up to
Duct
date
tape
on
or
your
super
tetanus
glue.
shot, right?
Wasn't that actually? I think that was actually like one of the main like reasons that they invented it. It was like World War I, wasn't it? Like they were using super glue to like redo wounds, and like even like World War II, like they would have it like where they would bring it back. It's essentially like that adhesive bandage that they have now.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's oh man, dude, we used to use electrical tape, and if we did electrical tape, like we would use Super 33. We would wrap it, because we're always like getting like knuckle busters, like getting into like little small spaces with your hands. Whenever I worked heavy industrial, so shit was always happening, and I would get like metal splinters because we would have to like make our own threads on pipe, and so it was always like wrap it with Super 33, and when that would happen, it would have the burn. So I was like, yeah, the alcohol is taking effect.
Okay.
But I mean, in hindsight, I was like, I don't think it's that good.
Shout out to
let's
what's up?
Yeah,
Frank?
let's do an educational piece right quick because you were really spot on. Something I had no clue, and I definitely wasn't fact checking you, but I love learning and growing. So Harry Coover invented super glue in 1942 while researching a group of chemicals called cyanocrylates or something to make clear plastic gun sights for Allied soldiers during World War II. So not that you were wrong. That was amazing that you even knew that. I'm sure it quickly turned into like, grab some of that cryptocrolic and whatever and put it on my thing. So that's amazing that you knew that. Now I do.
Dude, I've watched way too many things that have just come in this year, and then it just stays there.
Yeah,
like it's just like a well of knowledge of useful shit until I can spit it back out.
I love it. Well, now I know something.
No, man. Super glue is like it's that's what liquid bandage. I mean, I know like liquid bandage is one of those deals like where it's kind of modeled after that. So like you could just push it together. Actually, a really crazy story is my brother-in-law. Actually one of the first times like RJ and I. RJ is my business partner with Bigfoot and Yeti Construction, which we have Capital Electric, we got West Texas Premier Plumbing, and then we've got Bigfoot and Yeti, and also RJ works with me with like all the Capital City Electric stuff. But whenever RJ was like, I think, how old were you, dude?
I was I think like 17, 16, maybe 17.
It's about like 17, 16. My brother-in-law had broken this window and it gashed himself open.
Maybe even younger.
No, you hadn't been that much because it hasn't been that long. It's been less than 10 years. And RJ's 25. So like my brother-in-law gashed his arm open. And it was a weekend. We were cooking out. He had this window pane and just sliced him open. And we were whiskey drunk. And I was like, you know what? I can sew this. So I went and got some dental floss.
Dude, get the fuck out of
here.
here.
Needle. I got it hot. And we were just taking like turns swigging the whiskey. I don't remember this. I'm gonna be honest. And we field dressed it, and he still has like the seam scar from us putting it back together.
I wasn't ready for this story tonight. I just wanted to know that.
Dude,
like,
it was the most hardcore shit ever, bro. Almost
fabulous.
I've never been really cut open. I have been hit in the back with like some really big, like 277 voltage. I thought someone punched me in the back because I was trying to set up a ladder. We were in a building, and we had some whips up there for some lighting. And this particular building had 277 lighting, and so like I set up my ladder and go up, and as I'm going up, somebody moved something, and a whip came down with an unwire nutted like lead, and it just smacked me right in the back. And I thought somebody dropped a ladder on me. I turned around, I was pissed. Who the fuck dropped a ladder on me? And they're like, no, dude, the whip hit you. Like you got smacked. Yeah. And I just went down like a ton of bricks. And I thought somebody hit me because it like hit me in the area of my back. So like all my muscles contracted. So it felt like a punch. It was wild. I mean, electrical's no joke, but also like back to what you were saying is, we have to wear like those cut resistant gloves because when we deal with NC cable, and like BX and like micro cable, when you start cutting those things, dude, they will slice your hands open like nobody's business. I mean, it's just even like grabbing, lights and putting them up there. And dude, I've gotten what I would say is only like a metal paper cut, just getting it right on that seam and pulling my thumb back. It's always just, it slices you open.
Yeah, that's really wild. I had to wear those gloves. So I worked for a company, Osmos. And so we did data collection and pole restoration for utility poles. And we would do, after hurricanes, we would go out and there'd be live wires, blasting softball size holes in the road, just bouncing around. Not that we grabbed them. I'm not claiming to be a linesman or anything like that. But essentially what my job was when there wasn't storms was we would go out and we would grade wood utility poles. And what they're looking for is rot 2 feet up above ground level and 18 inches below, basically where water would sit. We dig a hole around it. We would drill some holes and we would check the core because these poles are made to rot from the inside out. And then we would basically put these pieces of C steel that were like either 13 to 16 feet long and jackhammer them down into the ground on both sides and then band them essentially so they didn't have to replace the pole. But sometimes these poles that used to have above ground, like 2 or 3 line coming off of like H towers from like these substations would have underground. And so we'd have to wear those massive gloves and crap like that.
Yeah. And also like,
we've lost a couple people. Yeah. We've lost a couple people in the industry. I mean, we've lost a lot, but I know just in the past, like 3 or 4 years around the country, we've lost several gutter guys due to taking an aluminum piece of gutter. Like, I don't even know how much about gutters. I don't know how much you know about gutters, but sometimes one guy can carry 30, 40, 50, 60 foot run up a ladder and he's not realizing he touches a power line.
Oh my God, dude.
You're done.
Oh, yeah.
You're 100% done. You're dead instantly. And if you're not dead and a fall from even 3 feet can break a leg or something. But typically, like these couple people were at 2 or 3 stories. And, if they weren't dead up there when they immediately let go of the ladder and then fell to the ground, they were dead. So,
my father
and will happen.
My father-in-law actually told me that he was in Mexico, or not him, but I think it was his cousin was in Mexico and he was like chasing these rabbits. So they were like, or it was some kind of like, he was just messing around, like they were out on his land. So it went into this hole and he had a pole and he was like, you know what? I'm going to mess with it. So he like lifted this pole and as he lifted it, he hit a power line.
Oh, crap.
And it blew out like the bottoms of his feet. And that's like one thing that he's always like, electricity is scary. I was like, yeah, it sure is. And this is around the time that I was an apprentice, so me and my wife, like, we, and she, like, we would just kind of just share horror stories. He's a welder. So he would weld for the gas plants up here in the Texas Panhandle. So like he would get dropped in on a harness and like weld the inside, to make sure like they could actually contain. So, I mean, he's got a lot of scary stories. He was telling me about like, even like scaffolding that would just collapse and just and start to fall because the guys didn't know what they were doing. Crazy shit. I mean, construction safety.
Exactly. Yeah. Another one that comes to mind is people who do foundations and some of the companies that don't do foundations. There was a company in Houston about 3 or 4 years ago that lost 6 people at once because jacked the house up. They didn't do it correctly. And it fell and crushed all 6 of them at the same time. It's just nothing like, imagine a house dropping on you. This isn't the Wizard of Oz,
Yeah,
Wizard of Oz, but like, there's ways that professionals who do foundation do these things. And there's also, just like with every other industry, there's some people on the side who think they've seen it happen. They can do it. They go out and get a few car jacks, some 2x4s, and like,
oh my God.
Killing a few people like that.
Dude, one time we jacked up my truck because we were taking out the 4x4 trucks on the back. We have to pull the axle out, and we just set it on this jack, and we had it on 2 separate ones. And like I watched it slowly, like my father-in-law had just come out from the bottom because he's also my mechanic, dude. Like I looks up to my father-in-law so much. He's a jack of all trades, and like so, like we're changing out the 4x4, and he gets out, and my whole fucking truck just. And I was like, oh my God. And like we lifted it up and like it just like dude, like I had to kind of take a step back because I was like a second ago, like my son had come out and like hung out with us and he was like kind of looking underneath the truck. I was just like all the things that could have gone wrong. And it sucks because in retrospect, you don't think about it like up until that point where like that incident happens, you know, and like once you survive it, it's like so eye-opening. It's like, whoa. Like this could have gone way worse,
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, like because you dude, and it still haunts me. Like I wake up sometimes just thinking about that. Like even going out to Florida the other night, like I had a dream where we went out. We went to Florida at Disney World, and we had a pool in the back, and then like in the back it had. We left from there, and I can't remember exactly where we went to, but it was it had like a little like. I don't even understand. I don't know how to say this, but like it was like a little trail that came behind that went into the ocean. And as I threw my like
a little
my
green
fishing
belt
rod,
or something.
yeah, but it goes out into the ocean. I threw it out there, and I watched a freaking stingray like go to the top, and it was a baby one,
Yeah.
right? And
shout out Steve Irwin.
yeah, right. No, dude, check this out. When my son was about like 3 or 4. We went to Port Aransas and we caught a giant stingray, my oldest son and I, and we had like a barb that was about this big. We cured it, and he found it. My son was like, "Give it to me," and he was like, "No, take it." And he grabbed it, and he accidentally stabbed himself in the leg with it. And we lived in Round Rock at the time. We went to the doctor, and the doctor came and he was like, "So how did your son get attacked by a stingray?" And I was like, "No, listen, this is what happened." But back to the dream. Is that he like this? He went to go jump in instead of the pool with his little floaties on. He jumped into this, little channel that goes back into the ocean, and like I'm there like grabbing him, and he's been shocked by an electric eel for some reason in the dream, and like been stabbed by a stingray. It was one of the most vivid dreams that I've had in a long time. But it like makes you wake up to like the dangers that could happen. Because I didn't tell the kids like don't jump in this water. The pool is safe. And now in retrospect, I'm like, oh shit. Got to teach them a little bit about the safety, you know what I mean, of things. But like, it's crazy, like the stuff that happens to us as we think about it, just how it like kind of rings in our heads of all the things that could go wrong, Anything could happen anytime. I mean, anything could happen, even in drywall. I've seen like people like go up there, like they cut something to get it out of the way. I mean, I've even, gone to like cut in a light. And we're having to like hit this, like a joist. So I kind of burr into it, and then we get up there, and then the guys are coming, and we find out that joist that like I cut into just a little bit actually wasn't secured, and then people like fall through the ceiling. I'm like, what the fuck? And then you go back and research it, and it's like, oh shit, the joist wasn't even secured. It's just there, just laying straight up, like bunted up against. Just up against
first
like,
ask questions later. That's a typical electrician right there.
Yeah, dude. I've put my foot through so many people's feelings.
Oh yeah, I think you've done that to me at least once.
Yeah, I have.
So,
me personally, too.
I always tell people just try not to die on the way to the job in their car because that shit's dangerous too.
Oh
yeah. That's true. Driving's not the safest thing in the world either.
No, we take that safety really for granted when we're driving at 80 miles an hour down the freeway,
bobbing in and out of people on Evil Mopac.
Yeah, it's one of the number one causes of death. I'm the director of operations for the brothers that just do gutters in Austin, and we have a fleet. Yeah, appreciate it. I also own a company, Gutter Growth, that we're coaches of gutter companies around the nation, and we coach them from $250,000 to $10 million or whatever. And safety's obviously a huge topic and having the proper SOPs around that. But I just say all that to say I always start off with driving. Like we can talk about falling off ladders or this or that. It's like driving is people in America, like death by automobile is like number one.
Especially too, like if you're hauling shit, like because I know like you guys have scaffolds and you're carrying a lot of stuff. I mean, you see the memes like with the guy with like shit that's like kind of just elevating, like it's almost like the whole
like
entire
at this it's supposed to be like this, and it's like that. Yeah.
I mean, whenever you're hauling something, I mean, you know, even as much as like a trailer, you know, if you're over capacity, people don't realize like how much. You know, it starts to rain, you're going through like some spotty rain, and then you go to like hit your brake. If your truck isn't geared towards hauling that much equipment, or like your trailer, and say you bypass it, you do like a fucking 7-pin to like a 5-pin, and it's not actually engaging those brakes that are.
Yep.
Oh, he got so excited it kicked him off.
Well, you know, we can keep it rolling too if you want. So, like. Yeah. One thing like he was talking about was not having that load centered properly, right, on the trailer, so that when you do try to stop, this thing doesn't get all squirrely on you. So obviously safety is not only about keeping yourself alive, but others around you and not killing like women and children and stuff on the damn freeway.
Well, and you can, when you're driving with the weight on there, you can feel how differently the vehicle handles, you
100%.
know? Like
if you got it towards the back or all the way to the front versus over the axles.
I've gone and picked up 2 pallets worth of floors in my Tundra back when I used to have that, and
you know all about it.
The amount of space that you have to give to brake.
Well, especially when the front end's sticking up a little bit, right?
Yeah,
the wheels aren't necessarily grabbing anymore.
Grant, I did the stupidest thing. 3 months into having that truck, I went and got a bunch of Hardy and then a bunch of Hardy trim for a siding job we were doing. And I was like, well, hell, I'm just going to go ahead and put the tailgate down and strap it on because it was too long, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
But I put so much trim on there that it actually dented my tailgate in 2 different places.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I can believe it.
Exactly,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot. The things we do, right, to get the job done. Now, let me ask you this, because I got a couple guys now in the industry that I'm coaching, and they're getting into the Teslas. I know you own a Tesla, and for obvious reason, it's really good when they're doing their estimates instead of driving around this massive diesel truck, right? I mean, they're saving a ton of money in gas. But I'm also getting videos and pictures sent to me. I'll fill you in real quick, Gabriel. What we were talking about was staying safe on the freeway and having the right weight over the axles and not killing other people, like if you had to swerve around somebody. And now I have some people that are driving Teslas around for their quotes around the country doing gutter estimates instead of super big trucks to save on gas. But I'm also now getting people sending me pictures and videos of Teslas pulling huge trailers. And I'm not talking about Cybertrucks. I'm talking about
I've seen it, dude. They're slapping hitches
Model
on those
Ys
things
and stuff. So as a Tesla owner, let's just negate any like reasonable answer. Because that thing gonna pull, like let's say it's a moderately sized trailer, like a 12-foot enclosed. Is it actually gonna pull it without jacking the car up, or would you not recommend it? I
would not recommend it. It can do that because I think that's what
0 to 100 with the trailer in 4 seconds.
Well, the thing is Teslas are heavy vehicles to begin with,
right? With the batteries, mm-hmm.
And they do have a lot of, I don't know if they still count it as horsepower or whatever, but they have a lot of kick. Like there's very few cars that can beat a Tesla off the line. They can also pull that weight. Would I recommend doing it? Absolutely fucking not. Because if you mess up that battery on any level and brick your car, that's $15,000.
Yeah. It's not like breaking a transmission, which is like
no. Like the battery is everything. Like, unfortunately, I've learned this the hard way. But when you wreck a Tesla, essentially what it comes down to is, does your battery still function? Does your battery still work?
If
it does, fantastic. You get to keep the car. We'll fix whatever. If the battery's broken,
Everything's
here's your
done.
check. You know?
I've watched them do those rebuilds, and they have like it's like a million like AA batteries, just and it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
just like one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
That's
don't know
why
if those are
heavy's
real.
on the double A's.
Yeah.
Come on,
So
man. You
next-
know they're all D batteries in there.
Yeah. We do it right, all right. Gabe got to ride in the Tesla with me to one of the Houston trips, and he said he's never going to ride with me again. So that was pretty cool.
Next time you go to Houston, I'll ride with you. I have kids. I have 6 kids, and I have 2 of them that live in Houston. And we just
Nice.
rented a Tesla when we were out in a convention in Florida. It's not my first time, but it's so when you're not in that car daily, weekly, monthly, and you get in with someone and they give you that look like, "Hey, man, are you ready?" And you're like, "Yeah," and all of a sudden, you know, you're like, okay, yeah, let's do that again, or no, let's not do it. You suck at driving.
I bought it to save money, but I would be lying if I said I didn't love every second of driving those things. And I drive them too fast, but thankfully so far I've only gotten in one ticket and I've only totaled one. So
what model are you driving?
The Model 3.
Currently? You're the Model 3, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Houston is an excellent segue. So we're trying to set up our tacos and tequila in Houston with Michael Soto he's got a spot that we're working on that. In Austin, we're now, I think, 15 days away from tacos and tequila.
Yeah.
What day is this? I've seen it. You know, I've been way too busy. I have no excuse. I want to be there. So
it's April 18th, 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 at Builder Supply Group. We're up to, between Eventbrite and Facebook, 700 responses. This is way more than the chili cook-off. We're now more than the barbecue cook-off. This thing is going to be massive. Ideally, hopefully we squeeze another sponsor or 2 in so we can buy some more tacos.
What can I do for you? Talk to me. Let's talk real quick. What can I do for you?
If you're down, we need at least one, like probably 2 more sponsors to so we can buy some tacos.
Yeah.
What's the sponsorship cost?
$500.
You want to talk about it off air? All right.
No, we can talk about it here.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
All right. We'll get with you after the show and get that sent over. Thank you, Grant, because
the brothers that just do gutters loves to support. You know, I only got to see you guys at the one we did wherever it was.
Little Woodrow's.
Right?
It was
Little Woodrow's. Yeah,
we great job hosting that one. By the way,
thank you. We appreciate.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was, and then I flew in for that. So like I flew in for it, and I was like, this is really well set up. Like we stayed down the street, and I got an Uber, which took forever. You know,
right?
And then I got there, and I was
out there in the middle of Richville.
Well, it was awesome because like they had already like portioned off, and like we stayed a little bit after, and like I met the bar manager, and he was like, "Yeah, if y'all ever want to do anything like this again," and I was like, "Well, who?"
They're very cool.
They were very
so
cool.
Where are you, Gabriel? Are you in Houston or where are you at?
I'm in Amarillo, Texas.
Okay, and Travis, you're here local in Austin, right? Or do you?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, so
I figure. I think I see you. I've actually like drove next to you 1 or 2 times in the past 4 months.
I apologize for anything.
No, you're good. No. Me and you were both on the Mopac. I think doing about 90. There's nothing wrong with that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, you were actually next to me. I knew it was you. And then you did a couple things, and I did them with you in my big ass truck, and then we were gone. I actually was going to try to call you, but anyway.
Nice.
Good stuff. It's a small world when you have a great situational awareness. You start to recognize a lot of people and things.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, driving on Mopac requires situational awareness for sure.
Dude.
But awesome. Thrilled that you're going to be sponsoring and that you're going to be going to the event. Like I said, we have over 700 people. The event that y'all hosted at Little Woodrow's, I felt like was the first of like these next level events that we've been doing. Because ever since that one, they've just been getting better and better. Which before then, to be quite honest, it was just kind of haphazard. We'd throw a date out there and a location, and we just say, all right, everybody meet here and whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And now, you know, we have themes with it. We have sponsors. We do the banners. We do the advertising. and it gets the word out. It is a great way to get the word out, not just in person at the event. Those are fantastic because those are connections that last. But it gives us, it's similar to like when you do an open house for a home. It's not so much the open house that you're doing, but for that week, that 2 weeks, that month building up to it, you're advertising, hey, I've got this open house coming. Hey, we've got this event coming. Who's got this event coming? It's Contractor Connection. It's sponsored by, X, Y, and Z on there. And that's really where the value, I think, comes in, because between the groups that we put it out to and the following on some other pages, we get about 2 million people of reach. So pretty solid eyeball count.
For sure. All that is like awesome. I mean, every time we do like, and Travis has like a really, really like large following. So we try to share everything between, the Contract Connection page, also the group page. But whenever Travis shares something, like we just get that reach. Like it doesn't
make any sense.
Yeah, you're the meme king, bro.
He is. Dude's awesome at that for sure. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I appreciate it, Grant. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, Rockstar and Legend, and thanks for sponsoring. Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you. What's a good time for me to call you tomorrow morning? Let me get some stuff, get it with my team, and figure out exactly what we need to do. Is there a time
I'll be up and started? I drop off my son at school about 7:15, so I'll be up after that.
I'll reach out to you around. I got some meetings in the morning. I'll reach out to you around 9:30, and let's get the trigger pulled on this so we can make it happen for you. I'll probably just get Brooke. You remember Brooke?
Yeah,
I'll probably just get Brooke in touch with you and get rolling on that immediately. I appreciate you guys having me. I have a podcast as well. It's guttergrowth.com at that just signed myself right out. Look at that. Nope, you're done.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, either way, let's do more of this. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much, Grant.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk soon.
All right, later.
Well, that was awesome.
Dude, he is such a good dude. That whole company is full of really good people. Like I said, that event that they did at Little Woodrow's, I felt like was the first of these next level events that we've been doing since then. They keep getting bigger and bigger. And ironically, the Dallas event that I'm doing on May 7th is going to be at the Little Woodrow's in Fort Worth. And I've simply picked that place out of experience, well, it went really well last time. Hopefully it goes well this time.
I think just like shout out to Little Woodrow's. Like they're just a place because I've had so many business meetings at a Little Woodrow's.
Yeah.
Because they're connected right next door. They've got the pizza place. I mean, they're always doing sporting events. It's like a real nice social
It's just a good chill spot. Exactly. It's a good chill social setting. For the Dallas event, we're at like 115 or 120 responses. This is our very first event we're having up there. I can imagine it being in Fort Worth. We're going to miss a lot of the Dallas crowd. So the next one we'll do Dallas and we'll miss a lot of the Fort Worth crowd. But
that place is huge. That place is huge.
Yeah. And then meeting with Mackenzie pretty soon to start San Antonio get-togethers and growing that group. She'll be a key part of that as well. So
speaking of which, actually, the Austin Build Expo, which is coming up, I think it's coming up in May. They reached out to Capital City Electric. And so what I did by proxy, I threw your name in there. And I would like for us to go. We've got some VIP passes that are going to come out here. And I want to fly in where you and I can go in there. And like we can just X out Capital City Electric and just go there and like just rep Contractor Connection or figure out how we can get on there, whatever they're doing. But they were like, we want to offer you VIP passes. I was like, yeah, I'll take them. Whatever you guys got.
I got some slick business cards right now. I would love to be handing out to some people. So
yeah, shout out to Panhandle Pre-Sort Services here in Amarillo. They had like their designer called me and I was like, look, man, can you do this? Can you do that? They did so many like runs of like mock-ups that it was amazing. Like they were incredible to work with. And that's how we ended up getting them.
Yeah, one other event to mention, and I don't think we filled up the 25 seats yet, but we have our first class coming up. Michael Boring is going to be the lawyer there. We're going to have contracts. We're going to talk contracts and liens. This is for verified members only. But we'd love we have 25 seats available. It's free for y'all to attend.
When is it? Tell us.
It's May 2nd. 6 to 8, and I don't have that address memorized off the top of my head, but it's in central Austin. It's like really close to downtown. So,
and what's the name of the event?
The name of the event is, I think it's Contractor Connection Legal Class. I think it might even have a 1 in there. I'll have to look it up because it's not like a big public event that we're doing a lot of stuff out of. I actually made it a completely private one, and now I don't even know how to access some of the information in there.
Nice.
But we're able to at least get a sign up going through there, and then for the people who are in there, if we can get some questions asked in advance for the lawyers, so they
because that was one of the prerequisites. Because I mean, like when you get a lawyer, like they're going to charge you for their time. So if we can get a I say dossier, but like at least some solidified questions, it'll help like just give a blanket over everybody's inquiries. That is incredible.
Well, and because what lawyers do is they go and they look up things, like they go and they do legal research when they're asked a question. So we want to give them the chance and the opportunity to do their job, do legal research on these questions and then come back and say, this is what the law says. Because that's what lawyers do,
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to give you fault. They don't want to give you, I mean, because the majority, I mean, they're that's why most people have to preface or even like at the end of their conversation, be like, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my word for granted. So like, that's the good thing about having a lawyer there. So that all the questions you've ever thought to ask, like this is now the time to get those questions in order.
Dude, as a real estate agent, like one of the very big things they drill home in continuing education is don't ever, ever, ever try and practice real estate law. And if there's anything in a contract that needs to be changed or anything that might be considered construed practicing law, you say, I cannot give legal advice, contact an attorney. It's such a huge thing in that profession and for good reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and another thing, like that's a great segue also, is what we were talking about earlier is like how we want to pull in more realtors.
Yes.
Like we want to work with the real estate community here in Austin and throughout Texas to give them the, our network and to offer the services a Contractor Connection provides, which is the vetting of the contractors, their licenses, their insurance, and all the stuff that comes with that, And I know you made a post a couple of days ago that I saw like got a really good traction.
Yeah. People, I mean, for real estate agents, contractors can be good during option period. Contractors can be fantastic at giving estimates that they can use in negotiation. You need trades to get repairs done during that time. And then also, you want to be able to refer people out because a lot of times when people buy houses, they want to do work to it immediately afterwards. So you want to have some people that you can refer out to that you feel confident in doing. And then above it all, come in the group, post your listings, post your open houses. There's over 42,000 people in there and we get traffic of about 400,000 people a month. Put it in there. You're going to get way more eyes than you would even on Zillow. It might not just be people who are looking for homes, but you'd be surprised. I have put listings out there and I get more traction when I put them on Contractor Connection. So bring in your listings. Let us be. The original idea of Connection was connecting real estate with construction because they go hand in hand. They make each other money. And they create pipelines for each other that can't be done in the retail setting.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, and also kind of that's another good thing is because I saw today that you posted like some metrics that involve like things that are like just pertaining to contracts like the market and stuff. Dude, do we have a stalker? Do we have a legit
I
stalker?
apparently have another stalker. For the record, we do not work with Shetta. We do not associate with her. We haven't for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
She tried to essentially steal our company. She tried to hack into everything that we do. And then she misrepresented us to a whole lot of people, which we still are finding out to this day. And apparently a friend of mine sent me, because I blocked her on Facebook end of last year, a friend of mine sent me a picture. She had word for word copied a post of mine, just like they've word for word tried to do Contractor Connection, just like they tried to copy everything else that we do, except just like everything that she does, it's shady. It's not actually real. All these things that she promises aren't there. And yes, Paz. And I just like, for one, I didn't know how she was able to read my posts. I guess she has like a burner account or something. And they like, oh, Travis. But the stupid thing is about it, Gabe, is she copied this post, and it was about, interest rates and what one of the Federal Reserve people had said, and the number of mortgage applications that come out. And I post that once a week. And it's just a couple of sentences. She could have put that thing in a Chat GPT and made it wonderful. She could have done anything. Just change up a few words when you're copying my homework, but just to she did word for word everything that I said outside of the emoji. She switched.
You have the houses. I saw it. It was 3 houses, and instead it was like the little that one, and then like
which is a terrible emoji to put there, because it was essentially saying that the interest rates are going to stay higher than what we had anticipated, and I guess that's a rock-on situation. Even though I think all of us are hoping for lower interest rates, because that increases the housing market, which increases construction.
Yeah, it's
just wild that I hadn't even thought about her in a while, but I've had a few people that I've run into with this lately that apparently still think about me, and it's just a weird situation. Like I said, she had a couple of her friends try and come into the comment section and say some pretty lewd things about our wives and our personal situations, and I blocked and deleted them because I'm not going to publicly argue with people like them. So but just a pretty wild situation. But just to be clear, we're not associated with them. We never have been. She briefly worked with us, and by briefly, I mean very briefly, and we moved away from her because of who she is. So I won't delve into it more, but
she works for us, and we let her go, and then as we let her go, we were like, look, is this where we sit financially? Are we okay? These are the negotiations. We send this much, we send that much, because towards the end, she was using Contractor Connection as a springboard to sell her keyboard contractor services, and then from there it turned into. It just turned into a shit show. We're having people that are reaching out to me. Hey man, this girl or this person, we've already name dropped, but this person is sending me an invoice for $800. Do you know why? No, I have no idea why. What did they offer? Well, they said that they shared a post, and so now that's worth $800. Nah, sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. We tried to build something together, and it immediately turned into, wow, none of this is linked to an account because we can't get you to sign a waiver so that we can open a bank account. And then people are calling me like, hey, we paid for the service. I was like, dude, I'm out. We're absolving Chapter 7. We're done. Fuck this. We're not associated. We'll never be associated. We have never, any shape, form, or fashion, put ourselves with that brand, and we never will. And all the people that are associated with it, especially the ones that are as wild as fuck and look like they just fell out the back of a truck.
I just don't get it. Like, I literally had not even thought about that whole thing in such a long time, and then that it just popped back up. So,
Oh man,
but it gives us an opportunity to clear up because apparently, people still thought that.
yeah,
We've
like
had
Travis
we've
White.
had people that have come and asked us like, "Oh, we didn't work with you." See, look at what Justin Lee Davis is saying right there. There's multiple people on my post talking about how she would tell them that there's jobs to go out and start and that they had full access and they'd get out there and the homeowner had no idea who they were or what they were doing there.
Dude, she got some plumbers on a project that we were working on, and they went out there and everything was undersized and not done to code. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and that was like the start of the whole thing because we'd already separated ourselves, but she was still like somebody that, somebody that I care about, right? Like her whole personal situation, like I cared about her well-being and I wanted to make sure like she was okay. And so I was like, what's going on? Are you okay? Yeah. She's like, do you have any work? Sure, I'll get you some work. And then it just turned into this whole deal. It's like, man, it's below par. I mean, even this, like, whenever we were working together, she would start sharing these things. I was like, hey, I never fucking did this project. Stop posting this. Like, it's not, I never did this. I stop tagging me.
You just get away from us. Leave us
and like
alone.
Even Yaritza. I mean, I hate to bring this up, but even Yaritza was like, hey, I'm still getting tagged in posts for things that have nothing to do with me. What do I do? I was like, block her.
That's what I did.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did. It was just, it was one of those deals like it's do or die. It was do or die. Like, and I feel bad because I came to bat for her a couple of times because she was an underdog, but at the same time, like the writing was on the wall, but I tried to coach her through some things and she got better at what she was doing. And she worked as an admin for Capital City Electric. But then it just became like this shit show where I was like, why do we have these people reaching out to us for these certain things? Nothing could be told. I was like, okay, we're cutting it off. And then all of a sudden I'm just to be completely like, I have these things documented. So this isn't libel. This isn't slander. This is like real shit. I get this invoice for $14,000. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? She's like, this is my commission off the jobs that I got you. I was like, you realize you did no work in any of these projects at all? Yeah, but I sent emails. No, your emails aren't worth $14,000. You can't show up to a job site. Like you're physically inept to like be able to do these things. And like when you did, like I had to, it's just dude. And I don't want to talk ill will about someone. I hate doing that. I care about this person. I want to make sure that she's okay. But I feel that things have gotten so out of hand now that it's not okay. And that person's like
weird.
It is weird. It's weird.
Weird.
It is weird because she, at one point it was I am you and you are me. And I was like, no, I am me and you are you.
Me, Gabriel.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like, yeah. And it was one of those things like even Iris, like it was so shocking. And even in that situation, like you said, like she literally tried her and another douchebag tried to go into whatever. Douchebags alike, they'll fly together. But they tried to take over Contractor Connection, and for a moment there we didn't have control. We filed police reports, we've filed stuff that kind of outlines and with Austin being the way that they are, this is absolute, like it's absolutely let's say it's still in the processes to like become litigation to where we're probably not going to see anything from it, but the people involved definitely are going to feel the brunt force of the hellfire that we're going to rain down, because you can't just fuck with someone's livelihood. And that's exactly what they did. They stood in front of the people that we had contractually obligated ourselves to be able to deliver a service, and they removed us, and we had to have them removed and us replaced. And we never spoke about this. I mean, how many months now has it been?
It's been a long time.
It's been a while, yeah.
As the saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
Which, reminds me of this morning at the Triplex, one of our Contractor Connection projects. where, I meet Saul Rodriguez, because obviously, as y'all know, we only hire verified members, Saul being verified, one of the best drywall guys, painters in Austin.
Yeah.
And it's just one last unit out of the 3 triplex. It's not anything big. So we meet over there this morning. We get set up. This woman was supposed to have moved out in the middle of the month. The landlord let her stay a little bit longer. Her move out date was on the 29th. We didn't start until the 3rd to make sure, right?
Right.
So Saul and I are walking through. Saul's crew gets started. He goes and runs to grab a little bit more material. I'm running down to the other contractor connection project in South Austin. And I get a call like 30 minutes later from Saul telling me that the tenant showed up and basically kicked everybody out of the house and locked herself in there, and with a sprayer and everything, and just started sending these like super hateful messages to me, to the landlord, to the real estate agent, who had like tried to work with her and help her, like, wait till she had a new place ready and all these other things. But it wasn't good enough for her. So she threw a fit. She left trash all over the place. It's pretty wild, honestly, how much trash that she left over there. And then she had to insult the fact that I wear flip-flops and shorts, and let's just be honest, that's something that's endearing about me. I love it. And
yeah,
don't hate on my style. It doesn't how I work. So
damn.
I was okay when she was talking about my kids and my wife and my mother, but when she started talking about my flip flops and my shorts, it was on.
Yeah, dude, you got to shake those haters off. But I mean, and people hate the fact that like what we're doing. Like, I mean, even like a good example is I saw something earlier this week, like where you're sharing our subscribing members and the list that we've created and curated for the betterment of like the consumer in a group. And then someone's like, hey, dude, don't fucking share that here. It's not welcome here. It's like, where the fuck? Like,
it was unbecoming professionalism. Because I shared a link for our plumbers into a real estate group.
Well, also there was another contractor that was busting your balls about it too. That was like,
oh, everybody knows who John Langer is. He's one of the angriest people on the internet. He can't be in a Facebook group without correcting people. And I think that was for electricians. I shared electricians in there. And because that's what I do, whether it's Georgetown, we have all these community groups around here. I can't share our Facebook group, but I can share our website that has our companies in there. So I go and I link those in there. I'm sure most of y'all have seen me do it once or twice. I'm doing it multiple times every day in all.
Which is good. That's actually like, that's good marketing for us. It's like,
well, it's good marketing, but it also presents the person who's posting with, hey, here's a list of people who are insured, licensed if they need to be, and they've been locally verified. Whereas you've got 30 other people posting and you have no idea who any of these people are.
You get a Jeff. You get a Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get a Jeff. And so, like, I don't expect them to play by our rules and delete other posts or make sure people are licensed or whatnot. But I don't do anything that's inappropriate. I simply link it. I tell them about our companies. And quite often, the people who are the original posters will go back, reach out, ask me questions, or go back and hit our website and hire people off of there from those posts.
Yeah.
And so he tried to lecture me that this wasn't Contractor Connection and that I needed to post only local contractors, which it's only people in the Austin area, that's all we have on our Austin group. It was just the dumbest thing in the world. So I told him, I was like, bug off, like, you're just a miserable person. And I'm going to keep doing this, and I
can't. I mean, that's the only way we build our community too. Like, because I mean, it's not like you're, I don't even know how like Amarillo is Amarillo, right? And then there's a bunch of little bitty satellite cities, but those are those own communities. Austin has like expanded so much, like, Dude, Austin bleeds right into Pflugerville, which bleeds right into Round Rock, which bleeds right into Georgetown. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like that, dude. We're all a trip down 35, like, which bleeds right into Kyle, which bleeds.
And shout out too to those groups, because they don't give me shit about posting the link. I'm very respectful of their rules. Like I said, I don't promote our group in their group. I wouldn't do that. But if somebody's looking for an electrician or a handyman or an HVAC guy, then you better believe I'm going to post our link on there, and I'm going to post our company and promote our guys and or ladies. You know, we do have a lot of women-owned companies, but whatever. I'm going to post our people on there.
Hell, Contractor Connection is woman-owned.
Yes,
Go figure,
Contractor Connection is 100% woman-owned. That is correct. So. You know, like, and I'm going to keep doing that. And when we have events, I reach out to the moderators of those groups, let them know these are free events. They let us promote those in there as well. So we actually have a pretty good relationship with a lot of those groups.
Yeah, it's awesome. And man, we've been going for, this is the longest podcast we've ever had.
I know, and I still haven't had dinner, so I'm actually about to die over.
Dude, me too. Dude, I came back. After that, like I said, just the explosion happened. I was like, fuck it. We're going to do some more electrical work, right? And I did 2 more wall packs. We changed out a light at like a city park, came back, went and got all of our equipment, got everything sited, got everything lined up. And then it's a 45-minute trip from Dumas to Amarillo. We made it in 30.
That's some Travis driving right there.
Dude, we were hauling buns. We got it here. And then I was able to like create the event and stuff. But yeah, man, I think one more thing I do want to like bring up is guys, we've got, so we just talked to Grant, the Brothers Who Do Gutters, our newest sponsor. We're still looking for some. There's a lot of good opportunity here. Like, we're going to do like spotlights at the event for every sponsor. So we're going to have representatives of them. Do some kind of like, we might even do a podcast on location, which we have the ability to, and like, you know, just like get them in, bring them in. Let's talk to them. Let's do some. We might do
it's actually that could be a really cool idea. Just have it off to the side somewhere.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Bring them in, line them up. We say like,
let me get on the podcast 4 margaritas in, and then we're gonna have some really good.
Oh my gosh, dude, that'd be crazy. Hopefully the haters show up and we can get them on too. We just do a little interview.
We'll have a grand old time. Thanks everybody for listening tonight. We'll be back on 7:15 next week. I believe next week. I already have a guest lined up for us. I'll double check with you, Gabe. Really excited about how everything's going and can't wait to see y'all again.
Guys, also keep on your radar Contractor Up. With that is our marketing company that we are going to be rolling out this week, and we're going to get everything like finalized tomorrow, so that like Monday morning we're going to be able to offer you website services, rebranding services, marketing services on Facebook, Instagram, Google,
for less than what other people are charging too. We're not paying y'all some stupid hourly fee.
Oh my god, I did market research this morning. It was wild. Market research is crazy. Calling people, like cold calling, like, hey guys, what do you charge? Yikes. Yeah. Well, Justin has a question. He just says real quick. What is it, Justin? Please hit us with the question. We're about to sign off, brother. And I don't know if we can wait for that. But hey guys, if y'all have any questions about the stuff that we have, or anything that we're offering, please reach out to us. Travis, myself, anybody on the admin team. Yaritza, tomorrow we're doing the Spanish podcast. You know, even to saludos a toda la gente de español. You know, we love you guys. We want you guys to be here. And we welcome y'all, because our whole goal is to build this community and help y'all. You know, we're not in it. I mean, dude, we're not in it to do anything than like develop small businesses, because we used to be them, and we want to be able to offer that service to you guys, to like bring y'all up, to level y'all up. Like, if this was offered to us at this point, like, I mean, even Grant, like with the gutter companies, dude, this guy has his own podcast that helps mentor, like he said, from like 100,000 up to like 10 million. Man, if those are the people that we're like trying to rub elbows with, we're offering something incredible. We're offering an opportunity for people who are subscribing members to get in front of an attorney for all the questions that you're Googling. Like, can they really, not let me lean this house?
Don't Google legal questions.
Don't come out, subscribe. We've got open seats for that event. It's going to be amazing, guys. We're going to offer so much more. Please hit us up for your questions. Hit up the Contractor Connection Facebook page,
Post in the
Travis's
group
page.
If you've got questions. We will approve those and have conversations all the time.
Yeah. And then also for y'all guys out there that are like commenting and referring, we need to have like some kind of differential, because it kind of feels like we're getting into this weird gray area. We're still open to like rolling this out because we're filling it out as it goes, and I think like, as well as you, like Travis, we talked about like this is something that's growing. So we're going to be flawed in some of the things that we do, but you don't reach out to us. Don't just take it as a like we fucked up, because people fuck up, and we want to make sure that we're providing you guys with the best opportunity to grow your business possible. And if you have a friend that has a business and you post that, I don't know you, you don't know me, and like it's just, we're only going off of like the rules that we built. So reaching out to us like, hey, can we refer our friend? Or are they verified? Probably not. Don't get yourself banned in the group because you're unaware of the rules. They're posted. Check the rules in the group. If you're going to violate those, reach out to us, because there are some gray areas, and we can give you insight as to keep your spot in the group, so that we're not doing these things that are really going to, we don't want to affect y'all, and we want to keep people in there and keep posting jobs, guys. Realtors, if you're out there, post jobs. We want y'all in the group.
Post your listings. Post your digital flyers. Let us know about your open houses.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I'll start going by and doing some video at some of the open houses. But
post your inspection reports.
Yeah, post the inspection reports. You will have it's piranhas in the water for something like that in this group.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you're in real estate, join Contractor Connection. Use that group to leverage, get yourself more eyeballs on your brand, and get yourself one of the biggest assets you can have as a real estate agent in your tool belt.
Yeah, it is. It pretty much is. I mean, Travis, like you utilize this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you see me all the time. I post on there, hey, I need X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, for sure.
And I put on there, only hire verified members. I've yet to hire somebody and take on one of these things and be unhappy with how it worked out. So
yeah. Well, guys, again, Travis, thanks. Shout out to Grant and the brothers that do gutters. Those guys that came through tonight, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. And Yaritza will be here tomorrow to carry on the Spanish language.
Are we going to do the outro video?
Yes, we are. Oh yeah.